Welcome back to Australia. In this video, we're gonna cut up everybody's billets into small tiles and start getting them forge welded together and drawn out. The reason we need to get all the billets cut up on a 35-degree angle and make little tiles is so that we can see the pattern of Damascus across the sides of our blade. Because right now the pattern is only on the end of the bars, so we need to be able to see it all across our blade. So we cut it up into a bunch of little tiles and then lay out all those tiles together. And that little bit of a 35-degree angle helps all those tiles forge weld to each other. Here's a little look of my Mosaic Damascus. You can see the pattern on the end of the bar. Might be a little something right there still. But yeah, I'm liking the way the rest of them look. It's getting crazy around here, guys. Everybody's got their tile mosaics and they're coming together, forge welding them out, one after another. Have some little tiny issues here and there with the corners coming apart, but that's exactly what I get on mine sometimes too. So it's getting real exciting. We're seeing all the patterns kind of really starting to come out. Something that might be easier when you come to do the edges, maybe try the full flat die. Oh, wow. Oh, that's beautiful though. Oh, very nice, very nice. That looks great. You want to get it up to welding heat and then just slowly draw it out. Little tiny bites. You might want to hit that seam with an angle grinder. You see how it's kind of got like a ghostly white look to it? You might want to lightly touch that and make sure it's not like a little split and get rid of it at this point. Other than that, it looks super good. We're starting to get a few of the first Mosaic billets tile welded and slowly draw them out. You might have some little problems with the very corners tearing or something, so you got to keep an eye on it as you go and make sure you clean out any little tears or get them reforge welded back together as you draw your billets out.
Why is 8 underlined?
Then we'll go all the way.
Okay.
Either way. And so I like to not trick myself.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, man.
Yeah.
I had everybody MIG weld their tiles to a piece of 1/8-inch thick steel just to help hold everything in place a little bit better. And it acts as a heat sink to help hold a little bit more heat when you take the billet out of the forge. After the tiles are all forge welded together, we got to grind off that mild steel plate on the back and also grind out any welds around the edges of the tiles. Today's sponsor is our online takedown Bowie knife course. Since this course is online, you'll have my undivided attention for over 14 hours. That's 27 lessons, taking you through every step of building the takedown Bowie knife. You'll be able to go right alongside me and build your takedown Bowie knife step by step. I'll show you hundreds of tips and tricks that'll stick with you for the rest of your knife making career and take your knife making to the next level. You also have exclusive access to our Pommel Nuts Facebook group. On the group, you can post your workup and get critique and feedback on what you've done right and what you could tweak to do a little better next time. We also have regular live streams in the group where I answer people's questions that may have come up as they're working on their takedown Bowie knife. So if you want to make a Mastersmith quality takedown Bowie knife like this one, then check out the link in the description. And now, back to our regularly scheduled broadcasting.
What are you trying to make out of that?
A crowbar?
Okay. Yeah, it'd be a fancy one.
Oh, beautiful. I love it when the pattern peeks through while you're forging on it.
Yeah.
I love to see the edge follow just like that. It looks really nice when you do that, even if you're not
I
working
can bring the edge in a little bit, and then I'll bring the edge in about halfway, and then I'll bring the clip down there.
Yeah.
It'll be really nice. Yeah.
Yep. We used a MIG welder to completely seal up all the welds around every single piece. That way we'd have nice, clean, zero atmosphere forge welding. Everybody's using a combination of the air hammers and the hydraulic presses to draw out their billets. I'm going to keep them nice and piping hot at this stage, just to help everything stay forge welded together really well and to avoid little tiny tears on the corners. A couple of the guys also decided to go ahead and forge their mosaics out into a blade that would be ready to grind. That's awesome! Love the hourglasses all over.
Yeah, that's what.
Beautiful. With the mosaic patterns, a lot of times you don't want to forge them too much or you can really distort the pattern.
It normally takes me a few heats because you really want to go slow here and make sure you're not going to destroy any, you're putting the billet through the worst stress it's ever been through right here. And then we can just start working it from both sides because then it won't be taking away too much here.
There was so much grinding over the 5-day period. Those giant cup grinding wheels you see on the big grinder, I think we went through like 8 or 9 of those over the 5-day course.
That's about how much I want to smush down, but we need to get it flattened back out again. Might have to lightly come back after it's flattened, and then we can really start going to town and getting that drawn out now that it's about the same size as a ricotta. We don't want to make the whole blade thinner, so what I'm going to do is just get it hot, and then we'll take it over on the anvil and hit it right here a little bit, and it should flatten that right out there.
Yeah, push it back out.
There's just a little material missing right there. You got a lot of thickness there to work with still too.
Thank you.
It's not over yet.
A little bit of time, man. We'll get there.
Everybody was starting to get pretty excited as their billets started really taking shape and we were getting to see some of the final patterns peeking through.
Hairs or anything on the corners, remove those now and get rid of whatever weld you want to get rid of most of it at least. The guys almost have at least one mosaic billet forged out per person. A couple of them are just doing some final details like forging out a tang on it while they're here. And then a couple guys have a second mosaic billet because we made big billets, so a second one to tile weld still.
I used the air hammer to forge weld my tiles together and it felt really good and solid. I don't know if it was actually any better than a press, but it just, something about it felt really good and it was tons of fun to use.
I'm finally catching up to the rest of the guys. I've been helping everybody out so much that I haven't had time to work on my mosaic. So I've got about half of my billet. I'm piling it together. That hammer is loud.
We decided to stop and take an hour or two and do an overview of what we covered in the class so far. Plus talk about a bunch of different pattern developments you could do based off of what I taught in the class, just taking it a step further. One of the things that I drew out on the whiteboard that really got everybody's attention was a radial pattern. So I talked about how that was made, and as a little bonus, we decided to do a group project on the last day and a half and make a radial billet all together. So we've left everybody's billets in instant coffee overnight, and we're gonna pull them out and really take a look at how the patterns look. I'm gonna rinse them off in that water over there. Whoa. Whoa. Oh man. They're all amazing.
They're all awesome.
Every single one of them is really cool. They're all a little different.
They're all so different. But they all started basically the exact same. It just shows the...
There's no known cure when you start making Damascus. When you start making this, it's worse.
We're on the 5th day of the class, and we all just looked at our billets after soaking in coffee overnight. They're really beautiful. Every single one of them is extra special and unique in their own ways. Even though we all started basically with the same basic kind of setup, they all took a little bit different paths, and they really came out pretty. One of the funnest things about this class was seeing how everybody's own personality and character came into play in their billet, and just seeing that dynamic all take place throughout the project. It was also a big challenge in kind of being flexible with your tooling and everything, because the tools and equipment's completely different than what I have at home. So being able to kind of think up different ways of using the equipment that you have on hand was really fun in the class.
Wow, I've learnt so much. It's hard to know where to start, to be honest with you. Basically having the darker parts in the center rather than on the outside, and actually crushing it in between the squaring dies. So that's a lot different than the method that I've used in the past.
Okay. Are you happy with the way it came out?
Oh yeah, my word.
Yeah.
It's been excellent.
It's just learning. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Learning everything. You learn where your mistakes are, and you learn where to go from here.
Are you happy with the result?
Yes, very.
Yeah. One thing I really learned was just how to keep everything even.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I really had a lot of difficulty before, because I've done plenty of mosaics previously, but they've all been, like slightly off center or, a bit curvy and everything. But the way that Kyle does his layouts and the book matching and doing everything so slowly just keeps everything so crisp and pristine. That's something I've really learned from this class. So I am ecstatic. Yeah.
The experience of working with someone of the caliber of Kyle was unbelievable. And I came to this course with the idea I would like to make Damascus with straight lines in it. And we have absolutely exceeded my expectations. It has been brilliant.
That's amazing.
So a whole lot of different techniques, a whole different attitude and way to work. It has been amazing.
Just learning all Kyle's little intricate things that he does. I know he's very finicky and it shows in his work. But just learning how to dry weld. I've always flux welded, just the little things like that. Best course I've done.
And now, a quick word from the Knife Art Association.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm Kevin Slattery. I'm the president of the Knife Art Association. I would like to thank Kyle and Josh for making the trip to Australia and giving us a really successful weekend at the Australian Blade Symposium. And the follow-on was just an absolutely fantastic weekend, a masterclass making Mosaic Damascus with Kyle. The guys on the class have just done sensationally. Kyle was nothing short of a fantastic leader and teacher throughout this event, and the outcome is everyone's come out with a beautiful piece of mosaic, as you will see, and really fantastic week. Again, thanks guys for coming out to Australia, and we hope you had a great time here.
Thank you, Kev. Josh and I definitely enjoyed ourselves a lot. It was really nice getting to see the country for a few days before all the craziness started up. Thanks so much to the Knife Art Association for having us out, and teaching at the symposium was really cool, and then doing the 5-day masterclass was phenomenal. Every student did amazingly, so it was a great experience, and I can't wait to be back to Australia again. Thank you for watching. May the forge be with you. Bye-bye!